in a case that should have been simple. Nothing made sense. A young man, a party, and a timeline full of gaps. What really happened to Jason Bolton that night? And why do some believe the truth was never fully investigated? Welcome to Old Casebook, where forgotten cases are reopened. Tonight, we are diving into one of the most suspicious and unsettling mysteries, the case of Jason Bolton. What should have been a clear priority, testing the forensic evidence from the party, was completely ignored. Instead, crucial details were left unexplored, and early opportunities to uncover the truth slipped away. Then there were the disturbing physical details of Jason's injuries. His sister Tommy later described the horrifying condition of her brother's remains, recalling how his groin area had been brutally mutilated. She stated that it did not look like the result of a simple tire impact, but something far more deliberate and deeply disturbing. To the family, these injuries raised serious doubts about the official explanation of what happened that night. In the weeks and months following Jason's death, unsettling rumors began to spread throughout the town of Laurel. Anonymous letters reached the Bolton family, claiming that Jason had not simply been run over while asleep, but had instead been the victim of a calculated and horrifying attack. According to these accounts, 4 men at the bonfire party restrained and castrated him in front of others who were too afraid to intervene. It was further alleged that after the attack, his body was placed on the road and run over with a car to stage the scene as an accident. It is a deeply chilling claim, one that is difficult to even comprehend. Yet, it is the version of events his family has held on to for decades. They believe Jason may have seen something he was never meant to witness, possibly involving drugs or violence, and that he was silenced to keep the truth hidden. Over time, these theories were echoed by online investigators and bloggers, including Brian Keith O'Hara, who suggested that Jason's cries during the attack could not have gone unheard. According to him, Jason must have been screaming and pleading for mercy for several minutes, making it unlikely that no one noticed or spoke out. Despite such disturbing allegations, no arrests were ever made. The investigation failed to follow these leads. Witnesses were not re-interviewed, forensic testing was never pursued, and no grand jury was ever convened. Perhaps most critically, Jason's body was never exhumed for modern forensic analysis that could have provided new answers. More than 30 years later, Jason's family continues to fight for justice. They have consistently called for an independent investigation, the exhumation of his remains, and a fresh review of the case using modern forensic techniques. Tommy has become the leading voice in this effort, urging authorities to look beyond the official narrative and reopen the case with honesty and transparency. She has publicly pleaded for an investigation driven by truth, asking only for a fair chance to understand what really happened to her brother. Their efforts have gained attention and support online, particularly within true crime communities, advocacy groups, and independent investigators. Discussions surrounding the case are filled with disbelief, frustration, and a shared demand for accountability. Many cannot understand how such a case could go unresolved for so long, and they continue to call on authorities to take another look. In the end, Jason Dale Bolton's story is not only about the tragic death of a young boy, it is about a family's refusal to accept silence in place of truth. It highlights the harsh reality that, in some communities, fear and silence can overshadow justice. It also raises difficult questions about an investigative system that may have failed to pursue critical evidence when it mattered most. Above all, this is the story of a teenager who deserved far more than a rushed investigation and a forgotten case file. Jason was laid to rest in Laurel North Cemetery, close to the place he once called home, and tragically close to where he lost his life. But his story should not end there. His death remains a call for answers, for accountability, and for justice. Whether through renewed investigation, advances in forensic science, or a long overdue confession, the truth deserves to come to light. Anyone with information that could help solve this case is urged to contact the Indiana State Police at 765-777-82121. Until that day comes, Jason's case remains an open wound in the heart of Laurel, and a lasting reminder of a justice system still waiting to fulfill its duty. More troubling than anything else were the inconsistencies surrounding the investigation. Jason's family were left stunned when they learned that police never tested any of the vehicles present at the party for blood or tissue, something that should have been an obvious priority. Their concern deepened when rumors surfaced that one of the partygoers was not only a local drug dealer, but also a relative of the county sheriff. To the family, these connections seemed to explain the disturbing lack of urgency and thoroughness in the case. What should have been a clear and immediate step, collecting and analyzing forensic evidence from the party, was simply ignored. There were also the deeply unsettling physical details of Jason's injuries. Tommy later recalled the horror she felt upon seeing the condition of her brother's remains, particularly the severe mutilation of his groin area. She described it in chilling terms, saying his entire groin had been destroyed, with even a small part found on the roadside. To the family, these injuries didn't match what would be expected from a simple tire impact. Instead, they pointed towards something far more deliberate, something cruel and grotesque. In the weeks and months following Jason's death, rumors began to spread throughout the town of Laurel. Anonymous letters reached the Bolton family, each one suggesting a far more sinister version of events. According to these accounts, Jason had not simply been run over while sleeping in the road. Instead, he had allegedly been the victim of a calculated and horrifying attack. The letters claimed that 4 men at the bonfire party restrained him, then carried out a brutal assault in front of others who were too afraid to intervene. Afterward, his body was reportedly placed on the road and run over to stage the scene as an accident. It's a deeply disturbing version of events, but it's one the family has held on to for decades. They believe Jason may have seen something he wasn't supposed to that night, perhaps a drug deal or a violent altercation, and that what happened to him was meant to ensure his silence. Some online investigators and bloggers have echoed these suspicions, arguing that an attack of that nature could not have gone unnoticed. They believe Jason would have been screaming, begging for help, and that others at the party must have heard him. Despite all of these claims and suspicions, no one was ever arrested in connection with Jason's death. The original investigation failed to follow up on these leads. Witnesses were not properly re-interviewed, forensic testing was never pursued, and no grand jury was ever convened. Most importantly, Jason's body was never exhumed for modern forensic analysis, an opportunity that could still provide crucial answers today. More than 30 years later, Jason's family continues to fight for justice. They are calling for an independent investigation, the exhumation of his remains, and a complete re-evaluation of the case using modern forensic techniques. His sister, Tommy, has become the leading voice in this effort, repeatedly urging officials to reopen the case and look beyond the original conclusion. Her plea is simple but powerful. She asks only for an honest investigation into her brother's death. Over time, their fight has gained support from true crime communities, private investigators, and online advocates. Discussions surrounding the case are filled with disbelief, frustration, and growing calls for action. Many people are shocked that no one has ever been held accountable and continue to push for authorities to take another look. In the end, the story of Jason Dale Bolton is about more than just a tragic death. It is about a family that refuses to accept silence over truth. It highlights the painful reality that in some places, unanswered questions can remain buried for years. It also raises serious concerns about a system that may have failed, whether through negligence or something more, to fully investigate what happened. Above all, it is about a young life that deserved far more than a rushed investigation and an unresolved case. Jason was laid to rest in Laurel North Cemetery, close to the place he once called home, and far too close to where his life ended. But his story should not end there. His death remains a call for answers, a demand for accountability and justice. Whether through new forensic breakthroughs, a reopened investigation, or someone finally coming forward, the truth deserves to be uncovered. Anyone with information that could help solve this case is urged to come forward and contact the Indiana State Police. Until that day comes, Jason's case remains not only a mystery, but a lasting wound in the heart of Laurel, and a reminder that justice delayed is often justice denied. Years later, the questions still remain. Was it an accident or something far more disturbing? The case of Jason Bolton continues to leave behind more doubts than answers. What do you think really happened that night? Let me know your theory in the comments. If you want more real, chilling cases like this, make sure to subscribe to Old Casebook and turn on the bell icon so you never miss the next story. Until next time, some cases are closed, but never truly solved.